Mr. Secretary, thanks for joining us. The number,
Pleasure to be with you.
A bit of a disappointment if you look at the actual number, but the unemployment rate falls down to 4.9%. Is that as important to you as the 151?
Yes, this is a solid report. First time, as you note, in the Obama administration, we've been under 5%. You look at some solid growth in important sectors like construction and manufacturing. As you get closer to the summit of the mountain of recovery, the steps in terms of quantity of jobs tend to get a little bit smaller, but they're accompanied by real wage growth. And this has been the best 6 months for real wage growth since the beginning of the recovery. And so this is really, I think, has all the hallmarks right now of a mature recovery. We've got a lot more work to do. There's still slack in the labor market, but this is a solid report.
How much did the raising of minimum wage in January affect that wage growth number?
Well, that's certainly a factor. Goldman Sachs issued a report talking about the fact that minimum wage hikes help wage growth. Not obviously, a lot of other factors do, but minimum wages as well. And over 4 million people got a raise this January as a result of these state and local actions. So we need to act federally. I mean, there's been a proposal on the table for some time. Minimum wage has always been a bipartisan issue. Every president, except two, since FDR signed the Fair Labor Standards Act, have signed an increase in the minimum wage. And so we're going to continue to fight for that because people making $7.25 an hour are living in poverty. And we're simply subsidizing the low-wage business model of so many employers who pay this below this just unfair wage, and then people have to rely on food stamps to feed their family. And we need to get rid of that corporate welfare.
Mr. Secretary, if you look at the JOLTS data, we can see that openings have now eclipsed hirings, and that would suggest that American businesses are looking to fill positions that American workers cannot fill. They're not qualified.
Sure.
What do you think about that theory?
Sure. Well, the most frequent conversation I have with employers is I'm bullish about the future. I want to grow my business, and one of my biggest challenges is I need to make sure that the would-be workers coming through my door have the skills to compete. And that's why we have spent so much time here at the Department of Labor building the modern skills superhighway of the 21st century. So we have a tech hire initiative where we're working with cities, businesses across this country to address the fact that roughly 500,000 jobs right now open in the IT field. Only a fraction require a college degree or above. And so what that means is that opportunities abound. And that is why, for instance, in this most recent budget, we got $90 million additional dollars for apprenticeship. And so this is a great opportunity for us to take the earn while you learn model that in the States has been mostly limited in the skilled trades, and now we're talking about IT apprenticeships. We're talking about healthcare apprenticeships. We're talking about, the other day, one of my colleagues here at the Department of Labor was at Zurich Insurance in Chicago. They have started, with our assistance, an apprenticeship program for claims adjusters. So that earn while you learn model is tried and tested and a great way to help employers get the skilled workforce they need and help workers punch their ticket to the middle class. So we have a lot of work to do in building that skills superhighway, but we've made a tremendous amount of progress under this president.
Can I finally ask you about revisions?
Sure.
I know the president was concerned that for most of his tenure, the first look was never as good as the picture actually was. That seems to maybe have turned around. Do you expect this year to be lower as far as the actual number and also revisions to be lower?
I mean, we'll wait and see. I'm always reluctant to be sort of crystal ball, but I mean, I look at where we're at now, and the break-even point on jobs is about 75,000 to 80,000 jobs a month. That's what we need to simply sustain population growth. And we're still, even in a month that did not meet the expectations of some, we're still over twice that amount in private sector job growth. And so this is solid. And to me, what's really important for listeners is that not only do we have the solid job growth, but we're seeing evidence of wage growth. The last 6 months being the best 6 months since the beginning of the recovery. I talked to so many people across this country working 40, 50 hours, and they haven't had a meaningful raise in years.
Yep.
And now we're beginning to see evidence of that. And again, that tells me that we're getting closer to the summit of this mountain of economic recovery, because that's when you start to see that wage pressure.